welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Robert Ralph, freelance writer and content creator. Today I'm going to cover the 4 basic tips of how to get more views on your articles when you're brand new to Medium. So the first thing, of course, would be your title. Of course, it's vital that you have a very strong title to lure your potential reader in. You've got to think to yourself, there are thousands and thousands of articles that are published on Medium each day, so why should any potential reader click on your article? Really start to think about a clever way of writing these. I probably spend 20, maybe 30 minutes sometimes changing my title 5 or 6 times until I get one that suits me and the article that I'm writing. Very often what I'll do is I'll actually write a title, start writing the content, and then sometimes change the title 2 or 3 times. I do map out some of my stories now, and I have an idea of where I want to go or facts I want to use, but by the end of the story sometimes it slightly changes just because I've got more creative ideas as I'm writing. I think of ideas that I think are better than my original ones. So I do go back and change my title 2 or 3 times, even 4 or 5 now these days, to be honest with you. It really is important to have a strong title. When you're thinking about it, there are, thousands and thousands of articles published on Medium each day. So as any potential reader is scrolling through, you want to catch your title, something that might interest them. Of course, the most important thing when writing a title is it is relevant to the content in the article itself. You definitely want to avoid clickbait articles. There's no point writing, how I made $5,000 from one article and then have nothing to back that up. Those sort of articles are just going to lose you credibility as a writer. So a strong title, a catchy title, but of course an absolutely relevant title to your article is key. Do think about it. Maybe write down 1 or 2 title ideas, maybe at the midpoint, perhaps go back up and look at that title again. Once you've finished it, maybe that's another time to have a look at it. And more recently, I have not been writing and publishing on the same day. I've actually just slept on it and the following day gone back to it, edited it again. It's quite amazing how many mistakes that I may have had. Perhaps I was tired that evening, so having a fresh look at it the next day, very often you can you're your own best editor to a degree. But by certainly that title, I've changed it umpteen times to get a stronger one and a title that fits better with the article that I've written the following day. So don't neglect the title, it's very important. The next one, number 2, goes hand in hand with your first. It's your subtitle. Now, rather than telling you what you should do with your subtitle, I'm going to tell you what the biggest mistake on subtitles are and what you should avoid. So you've written a great title, you've written some great content, you've maybe gone back and changed your title, now you're onto your subtitle. The common mistake I see people making is they actually give away their entire article in their subtitle. So they give the conclusion, or they give the answer to the riddle or the mystery, whatever it may be. Be very careful not to give away your entire story on your subtitle. Sure, it needs to complement your main title. Yes, it needs to complement your article itself. Yeah, there's no reason you can't give a bit of a teaser on it, but certainly do not give away your final thoughts or the punchline or the conclusion of your article in your subtitle. I see it time and time again, and it just spoils it really. The third thing that will help you to get more views is your actual picture itself. You may or may not know, hopefully you do, that Unsplashed is linked to Medium, and if you search for a picture, it will automatically be credited. One of the mistakes I see writers do is type in a topic such as money. The first screen comes up and they just pick one of the first pictures on the first screen, which means that those pictures tend to get used all the time. So the best advice I can give you is to really make sure you scroll through a couple of different menus and pick something that you haven't seen used before. Now, you haven't got to use Unsplashed, the feature that's on Medium automatically. There are other great websites that you can get some free stock images from. Providing you credit your images, they're absolutely fine to use. I've got two that I can think of at the top of my head, so what I'll do is I'll link those in the description below. Of course, you can always create your own picture. Unless it's something that you do on a regular basis or you're an expert at, it may not be worth you spending the time actually doing that. Certainly if it's something you want to get into, it's a passion, it's something you want to learn, go ahead. There's no reason that you can't do that. You still need to credit that picture though and let the Medium reader know that it was you who created it. But I don't really think it's that necessary. What I'd concentrate on is getting a picture that's relevant. There's no point talking about cooking and then having a picture of a car as your picture. So it needs to be relevant to the content that you're writing, and really want it quite linkable to your title and subtitle also. So from a personal point of view, I tend to avoid articles with scary pictures or pictures that I find off-putting. I like friendly pictures, happy pictures. Okay, life isn't happy all the time, but what I look for personally is I always look for a picture that's welcoming and inviting, and something that, well, yeah, basically attracts me. So it's definitely worth thinking long and hard about the picture that you want. Please avoid the first couple on Unsplash unless you haven't seen it being used before. There are thousands and thousands, probably millions of pictures available on free stock, different websites. Like I said, I will link that below. But take some time getting a picture that you think is relevant and welcoming to your potential reader. The last point I wanted to talk about may be a little bit of a surprise to you, which is the actual publication itself. Naturally, there are some publications that are very, very well known for the quality of their content. So regardless of who the writer is, the actual reader trusts the publication itself. That can have a massive effect on the amount of views that you get on your article. So publications, I feel, are definitely key as part of your journey and your success on the Medium platform. I recently wrote an article about how you can find the number of followers that each publication has. That might be really relevant to what I've just talked about, so I will link it in the description below. Have a little look, have a little read. It will be something that will help you in the future. To finish off, I wanted to thank you for watching today's video. Of course, this is really aimed at new writers on Medium, but I'm hoping that some of the older guys are also enjoying the content. If you do me a favor, give me a thumbs up, give me a like. Please hit subscribe. Hit that little bell button as well. That means you're never going to miss any content. And if you have any questions or any thoughts, please leave them in the comments section below. And I promise you I'll reply to every single person who comments.